Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Tamika Robinson, and here on this channel, we're all about uplifting, encouraging, and motivating you to become a better version of yourself by solely focusing on you and learning how to heal from the things that we all know we need to heal from. So, if you are new here, I would like to welcome you. If you are returning, I'm going to personally say thank you and I'm going to jump right into it. This channel, I'm going to keep repeating it, is for people, okay? People who have truly suffered with childhood trauma, traumatic situations, right? So if that's not your story, then it's not going to be for you. And guess what? I'm okay with that. So getting right to it. Today, I have a message for somebody who have started their journey. Okay, you have already started your journey and you are starting to realize that you are being pulled away, set apart, and separated from all of the people that you've ever known and loved and trusted, right? So, look, what I want to remind you of today is don't think that your separation is something that's strange, okay? And don't look at it as if God is disciplining you for something, right? Because you cannot heal the deep wounds that you have severely suffered if you don't separate from the people and places and things that caused the wounds. Okay? And separation is not an easy process. And if you're not careful, you just might give up or give in or go back, right? Thinking and feeling that you are the only one that's being separated from everybody that you've known, or feeling torn in between the two because you may have to leave somebody that you love, your lover. You may have to be separated from that toxic relationship that's damaging your spirit, right? And in the beginning, we don't really understand why, okay? And if you're not careful, you will let your mind run in places that it should not be going, because you got to remember that God is in control, right? And that God has a plan for you, and that you must surrender what you feel, what you think is happening, and give it to God. So that way you learn how to trust Him, trust in Him, and trust His process, right? Let me give you an example. Okay, like Jesus, okay? When Jesus was calling his disciples, they was living their life, doing the things that they normally do, doing the things that they've always done, right? Until they met Jesus. And when he called them, they had to drop everything that they know, leave behind everything and everyone that they know in order to follow him, right? And that's kind of symbolic for how you have to feel and what you have to do when it's time for you to separate, right? And another way, I want you to look at it as if, right? All the people, your cousins, your mama, your auntie, whoever, whatever you need to be separated from, because we all have different situations that are toxic or that has caused trauma, right? So all the people in the room have a contagious sickness, right? And God is calling you because you are ready to heal. That's the purpose of you taking this journey. That's the purpose of you believing in yourself. That's the purpose of you learning how to love yourself in spite of the trauma, the abandonment, the rape, the abuse, and all the horrible things that you had to go through, right? It's like you being in a room full of sick people and they know they have a contagious disease, but they okay with living with that sickness, right? But you want to get healing. You want some medication. You want to get better. You want to get well, right? So you can't get well if you stay around the sickness. Everybody coughing over everything, right? That's how it is when you have to separate from the people, places, and things that you have always known. And, the disciples, getting back to that, they couldn't turn around and say, well, let me go get my mama, let me go get my sister. No, they had to leave everything that they known and walk away and follow Jesus, right? And that's how you got to look at your situation. It's not going to feel good in the beginning when you're being pulled away from everything and everybody you've ever known. That's not the easy process. That's not the easy way out. Actually, it's the hardest thing that you are going to ever have to do, right? But guess what? If you want to get well and you want to get rid of that sickness, you got to go. You got to walk it alone and you got to give it some time and you got to do what is required from you to do on this journey. See, on the self-love journey, it's not easy for people who have suffered with trauma because you have wounds, right? Sicknesses, thoughts, feelings, emotions that will keep you bound and keep you tied into the very same people that are causing you to get sick. But it's not obvious to the eye, right? It's a sickness that takes place on the inside. We cannot see the insides of ourselves and we cannot see the insides of others. So the longer you stay, or if you go back, you still gonna get sick because it's contagious. So you have to make up your mind that it don't matter what people say, it don't matter what people do, and it don't matter how other people feel about you walking out that sick room with a backpack just by yourself and say, you know what? Instead of me just sitting here being sick, I'm about to go try to get some medication. That's God. God is your medication. And if you living with trauma and you thinking that you don't need to get healing because it happened so many years ago, then you will never get well. You're just gonna because you're surrounded by people who have a sickness and they okay with the sickness. They don't address it, they don't talk about it, they don't look at it. So guess what? Neither will you. So don't look at your separation like punishment, like you're being punished. Your separation is necessary for you. It's impossible for you to heal in a room full of sick people. That's just the way that it is. And that's how you got to think of it, right? And I'm not here to lie to you, right? And make you think that taking this journey and taking that walk and doing what you got to do, coming from trauma, that's going to be easy. It's 10 times harder for you to get well and to get healing than it would be for a person who didn't suffer with trauma because you got deep wounds. And guess what? The only one that knows for real how to heal those deep wounds is God, because God was with you. So he knows exactly what you've been through. He knows exactly where you are hurting. And not only that, but God created us. God created the heart. Okay? So he knows exactly where to go in and remove the pain so that you can be better. And guess what? He's not going to force you. You want to know why? Because God has given us all free will. God is nothing like man. He cannot tell a lie. He's not going to give you free will and then turn around and revoke that free will. Right? So if you got free will, you can stay if you want to stay. Nobody's forcing you. Nobody can make you separate. God is not going to make you separate. You have to choose healing for yourself. So if you got 50 people over here telling you, oh, get over it, girl, get over it, boy, that stuff happened a long time ago. You might as well just don't even dig that up and just keep on going. If you got 50 people in your ear making you think that your healing is not important for you, it's your choice. God has given you free will to choose. You can choose to stay and keep going through what you've been going through, keep feeling what you're feeling. You can walk around and pretend like you ain't feeling nothing at all, even though you know deep down inside you've been hurt. Some people in your family or some people that were your parental figures allow some things to happen to you that never got addressed. You can walk around and pretend like it never happened if that's what you choose to do with your free will. God is not going to force you to heal and to follow him. You have to make that decision for yourself. So when it's time to separate, and all them emotions start coming in and you start feeling lonely, you start feeling sad, and you start feeling like, this is not going to be an easy road to go. Maybe you should just go back and go back to what you've been doing. I'm here to tell you, the separation is necessary because you have to give God the time to go in and remove the wounds that take time. It does. And you got to trust him. You got to trust God to make the right move at the right time for you. And you got to know that things are going to be better for you after you go through your process, right? That's called having faith. You got to walk by faith and not by sight. Because if you're looking with your sight, it looks like everybody is winning and you lose it because God has separated you and got you sitting somewhere and set apart all by your lonesome. And then you look over here with your sight and you see everybody together and they look like they're having a good time. Life is shaking and life is moving for them. With fellowship, with laughter, with partying. And over here, you're going to feel like you're just sitting over here all by yourself, trying to heal and thinking about old wounds and all of these things. But see, when you walk by faith, you don't question God. You just know. You know that God is love. And if God is love, then he's going to do everything that he can for you. And that you are going to come out of this thing a better you. You're not going to be walking around with the heavy pain and the burdens inside your heart because, see, the insides matter more than the outside. This world that we're living in was created in the spirit first. God didn't just snap his fingers and the world appeared. No, it happened in the spirit first, and then it appeared. So you got to trust God. And you got to trust yourself that you are making the right decision when you separate and choose you. You. To choose you over staying in a toxic relationship. You know you're not happy. You pretending to be happy. You put on a happy appearance in front of other people, but deep down inside, you're not happy. You're not being loved correctly. So you got to separate. You gotta walk away. You gotta choose yourself because your life is more important than anybody else's life that you are separating from. And it kind of can sound selfish to a certain extent, right? But you have to be selfish when it comes to you and your healing. And it's not going to be like that forever. Because when you learn how to love yourself, you won't have to be so selfish because you're going to be that transformed your mind. You are going to be healed. So the decisions moving forward and the people and the relationships that you come into contact with after the healing, it's going to be for your better good and for their better good. When you love and I love and we love each other, then it's nothing but love. When I pour into you and you pour into me, both of our cups are full. But if you want to sit back there and stay in a room full of sick people, thinking that you're the only one not going to catch it, the sickness is contagious. You are bound to catch the sickness sooner or later. So that's how I want you to think about your separation time and why you have to separate from certain people, places, and things. And when you heal, you are going to find out how good you can feel on the inside, how good it feels to wake up and be you without needing the approval of other people, without having to perform for other people. Because that's what happens when you have trauma. You always got to be something to other people. You always have to be something that, or do something that you may not really want to do, going against yourself for other people. So I want you to think about that. Your separation is not a punishment, right? It's mandatory so that you can go through surgery. A person that needs heart surgery can't tell the surgeon, oh, no, you can't give me surgery till all my family and all these people is in the room. No, there's no space for them in a surgical room. It's only enough room for the doctors and the surgeon to perform their surgery on you. And once you recover and you make it out and you get into the recovery room, then you could have people to come and visit you. That's what's going on with your separation. So look, y'all know we're not here for a long time. We are here for a good time. And if anybody have not yet told you today how much they love you, let me be the first to tell you how much I love you. But most importantly, Jesus loves us so much more. Thank you so very much for listening to me today. Stay prayed up and have a blessed day.